James W. McLaughlin, November 1, 1834 to 1923, was a Cincinnati, Ohio architect. He studied to be an architect working under famed James Keyes Wilson. He fought in the American Civil War, serving in the Union Army. During the late 19th century, he became a popular builder in Cincinnati. In 1870 he helped organize the Cincinnati chapter of the American Institute of Architects. That year, he was selected as a Fellow of the AIA, serving on its board. Early life. James W. McLaughlin was born on November 1, 1834, the second son of William and Mary McLaughlin. His family was largely Scots-Irish, and his father William was an early Cincinnati merchant who had moved in 1818 to the developing city from Sewickley, Pennsylvania outside Pittsburgh. His younger sister Mary Louise McLaughlin became a ceramic artist. When the American Civil War broke out, McLaughlin left his architectural practice to serve in the Union Army. During the war he became a lieutenant in the infantry bodyguard of General John C. Fremont. After the war he published a book illustrated with his vivid vignettes of Army life based on his experiences with General Fremont in California. Architectural career. At the age of 15 McLaughlin entered the tutelage of James Keyes Wilson. In 1855, the first year of his independent practice, he built the dry goods store on West 4th Street. Architect Samuel Hannaford was his rival in the city. McLaughlin's design for the Cincinnati Zoological Gardens, 1874 to 1875, produced the earliest completed structures specifically for that purpose in the United States, and displayed his sense of humor and flexibility in housing specimens in buildings inspired by their geographical and ethnically associated origins. Affiliations. McLaughlin helped organize the Cincinnati chapter of the American Institute of Architects in 1870. He served as the group's president from 1878 to 1882 and 1889 to 1893. He was made a Fellow of the American Institute of Architects in 1870, served on its board, and was active in their national meetings, including that held in Cincinnati in 1889, when the AIA and the Western Society of Architects merged. Projects. St. Francis Seraph Church, 1859, at 1600 Vine Street in Cincinnati. Cincinnati Public Library, 1868 to 1870. Moch Jewelers, ca. 1871. Building at 613 Madison Avenue in Covington. Chi. Cincinnati Zoo Historic Structures at 3400 Vine Street in Cincinnati, Ohio. A National Historic Landmark. Stores for John Shillito Company dry goods business, including its headquarters store. 1878. A luxury 10-floor building that was considered a retail palace. This was renovated and adapted for residences in what is called the Lofts at Shillito Place. Cincinnati Gas, Coke and Light Co. Building. An Italianate structure that stands at 305 West 4th Street and Plum Street. It was converted into an apartment building. Hamilton County Courthouse, Ohio. 1884 rebuilding. A reconstruction after a riot and fire, destroyed 30 years later. Original Cincinnati Art Museum building, 1882 to 1886. The oldest extant museum building in the Midwest that has been almost entirely swallowed up in later additions, but his interiors have recently been restored to approximately their original form and once again demonstrate their structural, functional, and systemic validity. Bishop's Place in Clifton, 1885. Art Academy of Cincinnati building, 1885 to 1888. Sol P. Kinney and John Uri Lloyd House, 1887. Clifton Avenue, Machinery Hall for the 1888 Cincinnati Centennial Exposition, straddled the Miami and Erie Canal. Wayne County Courthouse, Richmond, Indiana, 1889 to 1890. Between 3rd, 4th, Main and South A Streets in Richmond, Indiana. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places. NRHP. First Unitarian Church, Cincinnati, 1888 to 1889. At Reading Road and Linton Street. 2901 Reading Road, Cincinnati, Ohio. Credited to James C. McLaughlin. Sir Alfred T. Gosshorn House, 1892-1891. Clifton Avenue. Includes a staircase salvaged from the library of the house designed by Frank Furness. Y. Monsieur A. Building, Cincinnati, 1892-1891. Later adapted as the Schubert Theater. Ohio State Building at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. McLaughlin was chief architect for the project. Sir Alfred T. Gosshorn House at 3540 Clifton Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio. Grace Church Cincinnati at 3626 Reading Road. Credited to McLaughlin and A.C. Nash. And listed on the NRHP. John Uri Lloyd House 3901 Clifton Avenue in Cincinnati. Listed on the NRHP. Mabley and Carew Building, 1907. 12 floors. Destroyed. Mabley and Carew Department Store. 6 floors. 1881. Destroyed. McAlpin Building. 1873. On 4th Street. A 6-floor building adjacent to an earlier building designed by James Keyes Wilson. Now part of a condo development. See also. Cincinnati Zoo Historic Structures. James W. McLaughlin at Find a Grave. Bibliography. Notes.